Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to The House Always Wins, where the goal of this channel is to get you guys investing, get on the side of the house. When you go to a casino, the house is going to make the money while the gamblers are going to, in the long run, lose the money, and this channel is all about getting you invested. So far, this week I've been talking, and through most of this channel's existence, all about DraftKings, mostly because this stock is so new and exciting. And I just think it has such a great long-term potential for it being a mobile betting company that doesn't have the high infrastructure costs. And today's kind of topic I'm talking about, does DraftKings and when get to $50? It had this huge run up to $40 from $30 just in 26 right at when they released first quarter earnings. Rushed all the way up to $40. Let's kind of look at the last 5 days. Monday, I hit this huge run up that I think was a little bit too high, up to 44. It was like 10% in the day. And these next 2 days, it's been down 5% about each day. 5 or 6 yesterday, and then down 4% today. Now, the question you guys might be asking me is, what does this mean? And this is just normal day-to-day volatility that doesn't really have any news. So the reason the sell-off of these last 5% days and 4% days doesn't have anything to do, and this is just my opinion, with the quality of the DraftKings stock and company. I think it was just people taking some quick profits, maybe some options traders who executed their calls and just wanted to turn a quick profit and dump some of their money into some more of the beat-up sectors. Some of the other sectors that are rising huge today are like XLE and XLF. And those ones were just overhammered during like coronavirus. So the financials, all the banks had all this debt that people weren't sure is going to be paid back. Airlines, cruise ships, energy, all the oil stocks tanks. So I think what people have kind of done with some of this huge DraftKings rally is trim some off the top, dump it into more beat up stocks, and they're kind of trying to hope to make quick profits here and there. I'm talking about DraftKings a little bit more today in terms of a long-term hold and invest strategy. Of course, on these run-up pops, if it goes up a 10% day, you guys could always, I'm for it, take a little profits and then hold some cash. Maybe it dips down lower. But overall, for this company, I'm a big long-term believer in it for at least 5 to 10 years. I think you guys could, this is my personal opinion, you guys don't take it as investment advice, but holding on to this stock now, at $40, 5 years from now, I think just that's the key to this world and this investing world is patience. I just listened to an interview from Carl Icahn about stocks he's held for 30 years. And, he's just bought some railroads, ones that I guess they've been good for him. But he was talking about them. Man, and just think of the value of a company like this. Once it does make earnings in 2 or 3 years after more, it could be 3 or 4 years until this company has big earnings or actually positive earnings. But once all the states open up, legalize gambling. But we're kind of in this period here before the NFL starts and some of these major sports like basketball come back online is without a lot of new information with DraftKings. There's not kind of big revenue announcements or anything like that. But let's get to some quick day-to-day stuff. Is the 30-day put-to-call ratio at 0.3, and it's gone up a little bit, which is a little more bearish for a put-to-call ratio. I'll kind of highlight these over here of 0.5, which means for every one put that's getting put in, there's half a call or 2 puts for one call, which means people might be buying a couple puts just as insurance in case they're owners of the stock and then they're expecting it to maybe go down and they just want the insurance to be able to sell at a higher price. But overall, this is still very, very bullish, being less than 1 that more people are putting on calls. So I think this stock will really, really pop when the NFL starts. And then I think after the Super Bowl betting numbers occur, after they get all of these in-game betting opportunities, I keep forgetting what they call those things, prop bets, when people are betting on the coin toss and all this other stuff and these major events like the Super Bowl. And I'm kind of curious to see if they have how these esports turn out. So a big Fortnite tournament or CSGO or Rocket League, if some of that stuff, we start to see some revenues in some of these next earnings calls of kind of in-game or big esports announcements. And the last thing I have here is just a quick article today on the implied volatility. Of course, this stock's going to have huge implied volatility. This is more for options trading. But that is, and a lot of this stuff is talking about whether the stock gets to $50. And there's a June 19th, 2020, so a couple weeks from now, about 2 weeks, to $50. And if someone executes that option, they probably didn't pay much of a premium for it. But if the strike price gets to 50, they can, maybe purchase it for like way less than that for whatever the strike price they had. But this, most people are saying right now, has a rank of hold. Zach's rank has a hold on the stock. Jim Cramer just endorsed it. I talked about in my last video. And a lot of other analysts, like people at Schwab and stuff too, have it. Or no, it was what's the other? It starts with an M. But anyway, some of those other analysts have it as a buy. But I think there is some options for this in the options market, but it might be kind of some expensive trades. I'm looking at it more as like a long-term hold. My question for you guys is today, the last 2 days it's been down about a total of 10%, and then Monday it was up 10%, so kind of flat for the week. But it obviously had a huge run up before this. But the question for you guys is, when do you guys think it gets to $50? I think it does around the start of the NFL season, and certainly after some earnings calls, maybe the third quarter. Once people start to see the earnings come in from the NFL, and then once the NBA and Major League Baseball have kind of reopened, and some PGA Tour events that are coming up, starting a big PGA Tour event that I think is the Colonial, which has $1 million maker for the people who bet on the sports. I might put in a $20 bet on the sports. I kind of like watching the PGA Tour and betting on PGA Tour players. But especially with things like the Masters golf tournament coming this fall, college sports betting maybe. And the long-term question for this stock is really when, it's not if, but really when most states legalize gambling. A viewer of mine commented on the big states like Texas, California, and Florida. Whenever those open up, like the sooner the stock pops off. So eventually they all will, which is why I think this is a long-term hold stock. I mean, just buy it now and hold on to it for years. And as soon as those ones open up, like the floodgates for revenue, I think will open up. So that's your quick middle of the week update for DraftKings. Just go ahead and subscribe now for kind of more up-to-date info on DraftKings and what you guys think like the long-term prospects of this company are, and kind of comment below. I want to kind of get the discussion rolling on some topics about when you think the stock gets to $50. Okay, have a great week, guys. Happy investing. Make some money.